On the slogan of India Out, Mohammad Muizzu was elected to power and he became the president of Maldives. Maldivian social media is saying that his personal wealth has increased manifold after he came into touch with China, and China has probably bribed him and his ministers, etc. They give some money to his cabinet, corrupt the entire system, and then tell them, I think you guys need a $3 billion airport. Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. First of all, I'd like to apologize to all of you. I know there are going to be comments like, why didn't you change? Because people have often told me that you need to change, you need to be wearing separate set of clothes for Hindi and English. But I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's too cold and I've just had a very late lunch and I'm too lazy, etc., etc. My apologies to you. I'll do a better show next time. Now, I'd like to take you to Maldives first, and you know about the political uncertainty which is unfolding in Maldives, and there is an impeachment motion which will be tabled very shortly against Mohammad Muizzu, who's the president of Maldives. Now, what has happened is, let me take you back into history a little bit, and I'm sure you know about it. Just a small revision before I tell you what actually has been happening in Maldives and what has happened very recently. On the slogan of India Out, Mohammad Muizzu was elected to power and he became the president of Maldives. He went to Turkey, he went to China, and after a very long time, there was a president in Maldives who did not go to India first, because all the Maldives presidents usually came to India first. That was their first port of call, simply because India is the largest neighbor and India and Maldives are friendly countries. That's the only thing. So what he did was that he said that, okay, I'll go to China because China has funded my election campaign and China has funded, Muizzu personally, given him money. That's what Maldivian social media is saying, that his personal wealth has increased manifold after he came into touch with China, and China has probably bribed him and his ministers, etc. And this whole thing, about the abuse towards Prime Minister Modi and undiplomatic words used towards India by his ministers. So the first thing that they were forced to do was suspend those three ministers. You're aware of that. And also the fact that now resentment is building up. And I'll tell you 2-3 other things also. Why resentment is building up. There is a sense of loss, because India is a neighbor that has never demanded anything from Maldives. Our help has been pretty much one-sided. I mean, what do you need? From food to water to vaccines to medicine to money, even military aid, we've offered them. Now, China is not going to do that. Because with China, everything is strings attached. If China gives you $1, you better have something to mortgage, before China gives you that $1. And that is true for China everywhere. So if China tomorrow says that we are going to invest, let us say $1 billion in Maldives, what is China going to do? China is going to give Mohammad Muizzu a lot of money, maybe $100 million. Muizzu becomes a super rich man. They give some money to his cabinet, corrupt the entire system, and then tell them that, hey, you know what? I think you guys need a $3 billion airport. And maybe you need a port that is worth $5 billion. And China will spend money, knowing fully well that Maldives is not in a position to give back that money, and then you take over Maldives island by island. That is what China has been doing. That's what they did in Pakistan and Sri Lanka and other parts of the world, especially Africa. The same template they have applied here. Now, people are baying for blood, and people are saying that, a lot of opposition leaders are saying that Muizzu needs to resign. Why? A lot of money of Maldives is invested back into the hospitality sector, the hospitality industry, which means luxury resorts, which means 5-star hotels. That is the kind of investment that comes into Maldives locally. And, all this money from corruption that is in Maldives, given by this or that, maybe the Chinese have given it, or maybe they have earned it themselves through kickbacks. They plow it back into the hospitality industry, mostly. Yes, they have parked their money in Singapore and Dubai also. But a significant portion of that black money goes back into the Maldivian economy. And when I say Maldivian economy, I mean real estate, especially real estate pertaining to hotels and resorts. Now, herein lies a problem. A resort can become profitable or remain profitable only when there are guests coming to stay at that resort, because the guests give money. And the largest number of guests, the number one guests which were staying at Maldivian resorts and hotels, were Indians. Now suddenly that number from the number 1 has come down to number 5. And now since it's come down to number 5, there is a vacuum. India has gone to number 5 and they're saying India will go to 8, 9 or 10 even over a period of months. So suddenly everybody's waking up to the stark reality that the Indians are not coming. And the Chinese, who are at number 3, have shown no special inclination or promised anything to the Maldivians, especially Mohammad Muizzu, because Muizzu went there and said that, hey, the Indians are not coming, can you send more Chinese? And the Chinese didn't respond to him. You're all aware of the fight that took place in the Maldivian parliament. It was like a WWE ring, people, punching each other, kicking each other, tearing each other's clothes and pulling hair, etc. Now, something else has happened. The Maldivian Prosecutor General Shameem, their Prosecutor General Shameem, he was attacked. He was walking the road. He was attacked with a hammer. A man assaulted him with a hammer. His arm was very seriously injured, the shoulder and arm area, very seriously injured. And then he was also stabbed by the same person. Now, why is this happening? Is it a random mugging that is happening there? No, I don't think so. Everybody on the Maldivian social media is saying that this is an attack orchestrated by Mohammad Muizzu, the president of Maldives. Because this guy, Shameem, he belonged to the Maldivian Democratic Party, the MDP, which is a pro-India party, which is a democracy-loving party. Now, what is happening in Maldives is, it's going the Pakistan way. Opposition leaders are being attacked. There are threats. People are saying, we'll kill you. And in between all of this, there is another voice which is being heard in Maldives and even in India. Gasoim Ibrahim of the Jamhuri Party of Maldives has asked President Muizzu to apologize to Prime Minister Modi. He's saying apologize. And the intent of his statement of saying apologize is simply that, India is a friend. India is a friend that has stood us in good stead for decades now. And you don't put a relationship like that in danger. Who's Maldives' biggest neighbor? It is India. There is no other big neighbor nearby. Tomorrow, if Maldives is in a problem, by the time the Chinese reach, it's going to be too late. India is a stone's throw away from Maldives. I mean, look at the map of India, right? There is Sri Lanka and there is Maldives here. That's about it. That's it. We are a stone's throw away from India. Maldives is a stone's throw away from India. But what about China? China will have to come all the way. If we were to send a ship, it would reach 10 times faster than a Chinese ship. If we were to send an aircraft, it would reach 10 times faster. So this is the problem. And in the proper context, I would like to place it that today there are voices being raised within the Maldives parliament and on the streets where people are saying, get rid of this guy. This Chinese stooge, he has offended our friends. He has put our greatest relationship in danger. And this man, because of his greed, because of his corruption, and because of his proximity to the dictator Xi Jinping, has put Maldives in a place where Maldivians don't want to be seen at. They're peace-loving people, they're kind people, they're nice people, and they don't want to be seen hanging around with the Chinese. Nobody wants to be seen hanging around with the Chinese. But unfortunately, that is where Mohammad Muizzu has brought them. And in a press conference, Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, was asked, about this whole Maldives thing, and he said that, neighbors are neighbors here, and you can't, you have to get along with your neighbors. And very strange that Dr. Jaishankar has said this. I'm sure he means it, but when it comes to Pakistan, then India has a totally different, but Pakistan deserves a different policy actually. Pakistan's shenanigans are too many to note down and discuss with you. I mean, most of them, but if I were to list down all of them, it would take all of today and tomorrow to list down Pakistan's shenanigans. So apart from what I would like to do is sort of paraphrase and amend and correct it a little bit, what Dr. Jaishankar has said, that apart from Pakistan, India needs to get along with its neighbors. That's important for India. That's important for Maldives. And also, Dr. Jaishankar also said one thing very interesting. He said that, you cannot change history and geography. Very interesting statement. He says, you have to live with it. I mean, history and geography, what can you do about it? You have to exist with it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was my short news capsule for you, mostly relating to Maldives. With this, I come to the end of my video today. Thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. We have no questions today. And I was hoping for some questions, but there are none. I would request you to please send your questions. I would like to engage with you more and answer your questions to the best of my ability. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.